Good morning, and thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee, for having me here to testify today at today's hearing. For the record, my name is Ann Vanek Dasovich. V as in Victor, A-N-E-K hyphen D as in David, A-S-O, V as in Victor, I-C-H. I am the statewide campaign communications director for the Florida AFL-CIO. Today we are discussing the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare. As a professional communicator, it is interesting to me how easily facts can be distorted, or worse, how a pure construct, an opinion repeated over and over again, becomes fact. Since opinion is subject to an emotional response by the brain, the public makes decisions with their emotions instead of the rational part of their brain. Never has this been any more apparent than it has been for this piece of legislation. Recent research has found that when various provisions of the Act are pulled apart and people are asked about them independently, Republicans, Democrats, and independents alike overwhelmingly approve of the individual parts. However, when asked the same question about the Affordable Care Act overall, Republicans overwhelmingly disapprove of the legislation, while Democrats approve and independents are basically split. Why is this? It has to do with the different ways brains work and the different ways we communicate within our self-identified social groups. Republicans have been told by their media outlets a very emotionally engaging message, that it's a tax that will kill the economy, that the government is taking over their health care, and that they will no longer have a choice. While Democrats have been told that it's a different way of looking at healthcare that will be better for everyone. Since it depends on where independents get their news, it depends on what they believe. Now that the Supreme Court has ruled on the individual mandate section of the Affordable Care Act, and the act has been ruled constitutional, you would think that the propaganda battle would finally be over, but it's not. Instead, the conservative propaganda machine has geared up and continues to paint the law in wildly inflammatory language. So what does or will the act actually do? The Supreme Court's decision to uphold the Affordable Care Act ensures that families will get preventative care coverage and protection from the worst insurance company abusers. Because insurance companies will no longer have unchecked power to cancel policies, deny coverage, or charge women more than men. Additionally, they cannot deny coverage or charge more due to pre-existing conditions like cancer or asthma. Preventative care will be covered free of charge by insurance companies, including mammograms for women and wellness visits for seniors and children. By August, millions of Americans will receive a rebate because their insurance company spent too much of their premiums on administrative costs or CEO bonuses. Many seniors will continue to receive $600 a year on their prescription drugs. Efforts to strengthen and protect Medicare by cracking down on waste, fraud, and abuse will remain in place. Millions of young adults will stay on their family's plan until they're 26 years of age. A major impact of the court's decision is that 129 million people with pre-existing conditions and millions of middle-class families will have the security of affordable health coverage. Under the ruling, having health insurance is and will continue to be a choice. If an individual can't afford insurance, or a small business wants to provide affordable insurance to its employees, they'll get a tax credit that will make insurance coverage more affordable. But an individual who can afford insurance but chooses not to purchase it, the taxpayers will no longer subsidize their care for free. It is extremely important that we communicate the facts to the public so they can make up their own minds. Unfortunately, in this over-connected but less personal world, depending on the media to communicate those facts without opinion is not likely to happen. People are all too willing to engage their emotions, but most will not engage their intellect. If we are to break through the chatter of the media for money cycle, then we must deliver our message in a much more personal manner. There is a great deal of research that suggests that the most trusted messengers are our family, our friends, and our coworkers. We must engage them at this level if we are to make a difference. Thank you for having me.